Okay guys, so as I told you guys before, I am out today, but I'm still here to help you guys with some of your code. So let's take a look at the code that some of you guys may be putting together for making your characters shoot. So on my screen, you guys can see we've got some basic code here. We have some basic shots created by some of the clones here. So first, you might notice there's a problem. Take a look at the screen. You may notice that first problem that's probably the most obvious is that the shots are coming down in a steady stream. It's creating way too much. Over here to the side, you can see that I'm in the enemy code here, in this case sprite 1. And I've got in a forever loop, create clone of ball. I could, of course, help change that out by adding a weight. And that would space out the shots a little bit more. But it's a little bit too steady. Here, you can use some variables to space out and randomize your shots. To do that, you're going to need an if block, an equals block, and underneath sensing, pick a number between 1 and 10, or a random, sorry, not sensing, operator block, pick random 1 through 10. Here you can randomize the shot by just picking a number. For instance, pick a random number 1 through 10. If that's equal to 1, then create a clone. You'll notice things are coming out a little bit more random, but still in a steady stream. The way to change that is just increasing the number for picking random. So notice if I put in 100, the stream is a lot more spread out, while still being kind of random. So play around the number until you find a shot amount that you're okay with. I personally like 1 to 1,000, at least for level 1. And that has about the shot frequency that you saw in the regular Space Invaders game. Second thing, you'll notice another problem. If you take a look at my screen, you'll notice the shot's not coming from the clones. It's coming from a space right before the clones. The reason why that's happening is that that's my original sprite. If I hit show, you can see he's right here. Usually he's hidden. And that's why it appears to be coming from a space right in front of our clones. Now, what we expect when we made our shot sprite is that we want it to go to sprite 1. The problem is when we're using clones is that when we're using sprite 1, it's going to go to the original clone. Again, the one here. It's not coming from the clones, it's coming from the original sprite. So, to correct that, you have to change how you put the placement. There's a couple of ways to do it, and I like to do it through variables. Now with variables, remember that we can set variables to whatever we want. So for instance, if we have it go to 6118, it's always going to go to that spot and then show. However, 6118 is not exactly, or 61-18 is not where we actually want it to go. We want it to go to the location of our clones. So I'm going to put in two variables, x and y. Now, x and y don't mean anything right now. They're not set to anything, so of course, they're not actually making anything happen. What we need to do is go back to sprite 1, go to where we create our balls, and then we have to figure out where the sprite's locations are. Now, there could be a complicated code for this, but luckily, Scratch has set it up so that underneath motion, we can find the location of any sprite on screen using the blocks at the bottom. So we can pull the X position and the Y position blocks here, and then set X and Y to that information. Set X, set Y, so that every time a ball is created, the clone that's doing it will set its X and Y position. Those will transfer over to the ball, and it will go to the X and Y position of the clone that's creating it. So notice now that we've got that code complete, right here, and right here, the shots are now successfully coming from the clones, and none are coming from the original sprite, which is still invisible at the front. So, try to implement this in your code. On Monday, we'll come back and talk about the last pieces. Let me know. And be sure to write down any questions you have so that we can review them on Monday when we're back together again. Thank you very much.